What's up, guys? It's your boy T. Today we're going to be talking about that Twitch situation that happened the other day. Now, if you don't know, Twitch had this thing going on where there was a lot of titty streamers on the platform. A lot of people upset about it because it'd be on the front page, and not a lot of people want to see sexual stuff every website they get on. As you know, there's a lot of sexual stuff out there, especially on the internet. If you go to Twitter, Facebook, maybe Instagram, YouTube, there's no area on the internet that is safe from porn. It's everywhere. So a lot of people do have a problem that was on Twitch, especially with Twitch being a 13 and up website. Kids are supposed to be able to view this website. However, Twitch didn't see it that way. So people were making a huge fuss about, these titty streamers are taking off the platform. There's so much sexual stuff on the platform. The first thing you see when you open up Twitch is, titty streamers, whatever like that, right? So a lot of people had an issue. So Twitch listened and then they responded. And so a lot of people would give Twitch credit because they did fix this one problem. So they at least said, hey, broadcasts that are labeled with drugs, intoxication, or excessive tobacco use, violent and graphic depictions, gambling and or sexual things will no longer be allowed on Twitch's homepage. A lot of people really did appreciate that change. That's just one thing you just don't have to necessarily see as soon as you get the platform. However, the other changes they made doesn't help. With all this stuff going on about these titty streamers like Morg Pie and Asian Bunny X, a lot of people were of course upset about seeing this stuff. So Twitch wanted to pretty much change the game, and they did something that I didn't believe they would do, which they really made this big mistake. It don't take a brain scientist to understand that this probably was not a right play. Now, for what they did is they started this thing called artistic nudity, and one of the things they stated it was, we were out of line with industry standards and resulted in female presented streamers being disproportionately penalized. So Twitch felt like they female streamers was penalized a lot for their barbaric rules, but my thing is, I don't believe a lot of female streamers were punished for that. A lot of male streamers were, and I'm not trying to be sexist, but then again, I don't be on Twitch like that. But I feel most of the time I hear about male streamers being banned for some reason or another. Never really fear about female streamers getting banned for one reason or another, but that's just from my take. I don't be on Twitch like that, as I said before. So one of the things they said was policies that were prohibited and are now allowed with a label include fictionalized, fully exposed female presenting breasts and or genitals or buttocks regardless of gender, body writing on female presenting breasts and or buttocks regardless of gender, and erotic dances that involve disrobing or disrobing gestures such as a strip tease. They also allow people to twerk and grind and pole dance and everything like that. So a lot of people were everybody was kind of separated, divided, my bad, because some people were like, okay, that's a good change. I mean, some of the stuff is pretty decent, but then you got these big changes right here in this stupid label called artistic nudity. So some people didn't really know how to feel. So of course, as soon as this became a thing, people went hog wild. I wanted to put this right here about the sexual content policy for Twitch, or what it was before. The changes were certain content now allowed with labels. Artistic nudity, which a lot of people had a field day with that thing, permitted under sexual themes label. Game nudity, contextual labels necessary. Body painting acceptable with appropriate labels. Mature games label generally covers the content. Stream visibility impacted by content labels. For people who don't know, some streams have certain labels. A lot of titty streamers will have certain labels on their stuff saying it's 18 plus, and that's how they'll get around being able to stream on Twitch. So pretty much you had to announce to the fact that, hey, this is 18 plus, this is mature rated things, such as YouTube. When you upload videos on YouTube, it asks you, is this video for kids or is not for kids? And you just label what it's for. So that means people will know what they're going into once they get into it. And then when you go into a Twitch video, it also tells you, hey, if you push OK on this, you know what you're getting yourself into. So you're getting yourself into a sexual stream, you're getting yourself into a sexual stream. Now, a lot of people had a problem with this artistic nudity because it's up to interpretation. You can have a different definition of artistic nudity. So that's why a lot of people had a field day on Twitch the other day when there was so much hentai or funinaris and stuff like that. It was you just had to be there. It's one of the things, you just had to be there. There was so much porn, there was so much drawn Rule 34 artwork on Twitch. If you went under the art category on Twitch, all you would see is naked women or naked anime people, furries, funinaris, if you know what a funinari is. Like, that's all you would see. And a lot of people were pretty disturbed, which I understand. It's funny because Twitch has usually been a pretty clean website for the most part, and this website is supposed to be for teenagers also, 13 it up. So now it just turned to a cam girl website and also turned into a porn website. So a lot of people were kind of disturbed and like weirded out by this. It was a weird move by Twitch, and honestly it didn't make sense for them to do it anyway. And they eventually changed these guidelines because they realized how wrong this is and how bad of an idea it really was. My thing with it, I don't believe it takes brain science to understand that there was some loopholes in this, because a lot of people took advantage of these rules, and a lot of people followed these rules and did these things like post news or post like animated people and everything. But some people got banned, but they were just following the rules that Twitch set up. So I don't even understand why you banned them. They were just following your rules that you set up. You allow porn on the platform, so it's not on them. A lot of people wanted to blame it on the streamers for doing it, which I get what you're saying. Just because they give you an inch don't mean you take a mile. But at the same time, if Twitch is saying, hey, you can do this, and you're competing with a whole bunch of other streamers on the platform, you gotta do something to get your money, because obviously there's an audience for it. So some people want to look at this stuff. So if you're not doing it, you kind of losing money at the same time. And one thing I do want to add, I feel like it's not a thing of the kids, because I don't believe a lot of people care about the kids until it's convenient for them to use the excuse of what about the kids. Kids are always going to wonder, and if kids want to see sexual stuff like that, they're going to look it up. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, there's so many websites, even YouTube, that you can find sexual things with, and kids will find sexual things. So it's not the problem with Twitch doing it or Twitch allowing it, which Twitch can if they want to. If they choose to do it, they can. But it's more on the fault of society allowing this to happen. Society became real loose when it comes to certain things like that. So we're more keen to talk about or show it nonchalantly and not really think too much about it. It's not as taboo as it really should be. And a lot of people are exposed to sex at a very early age. And we see this a lot nowadays. Like, we see it way more than you did before because of the internet. So it's not really Twitch's fault. It's society in a whole, and maybe we got to change that, but we can't really blame it on Twitch. The only thing I can really recommend is that Twitch implements a filter system. Now, if you don't know the website Nexus Mods, what Nexus Mods is a modding website. A lot of people who play Skyrim or Fallout will know about these, but Nexus Mod has a feature where you can filter out certain mods, because some mods get pretty sexual. There are a lot of sexual mods for Skyrim, because yeah, degenerates, right? It would be good if they implement that same type of filter system. If you already have to label your stream correctly to be under this whole guidelines of sexual stuff, how about you just implement a system that check AI, or even that just checks to make sure, okay, this is rated A content, it's adult content, it's sexual content. All right, we're gonna put it in this area. So when you filter it out, you don't have to see it as a normal person or a person in public. You should be able to have certain websites out in public. Now, Twitter is already infested. It is what it is. But Twitch, that's something that should be able to not have that, especially when you're trying to have a lot of advertisements on your platform. You should try to limit as much sexual stuff as you can, or dope things as you can anyway. Because most advertisers like to advertise for mostly family friendly stuff. So that should be the narrative. Like, you should want to have advertising on your platform because of family friendly stuff, instead of having sexual stuff like you do now. Now, I understand that sexual stuff is giving you a lot of money, and that's probably why you passed these guidelines at first, because you were getting a buttload of money from these women on here showing their bodies. However, they were giving you a whole bunch of money off these donations, but those donations do not outweigh the money that advertisers would give y'all. And I feel like advertisers were really pressuring them to get rid of these guidelines, because they were going to take their money away, and they were going to take advertisements out of Twitch, because that's a liability for them. As an advertiser, you do not want to be associated with sexual stuff or stuff like that. You don't want to be associated with things that can have you in a bad light. If let's say you were, Coca-Cola, and they see you advertising on some girl twerking on Twitch, that's not a good look for you, because that means you support that stuff. Even if you didn't necessarily say, hey, I'm gonna put this ad on this necessary video, it still shows to some people that you support that stuff. So they're going to change that, especially in the business world. You gotta be professional, and Twitch should keep a professional look. So if they do want to have this thing with having a adult stuff on their platform, they need to set a filter so normal Joes like you and me who don't want to see porn on their website can just enjoy it without seeing the porn. That's what they really need to implement. Now, of course, they did change these rules because, again, advertisers made them. And that's what a lot of people are speculating, that the advertisers pretty much forced their hand to change their mind, which makes sense. But it shouldn't take all that for y'all to understand that this wasn't fully thought all the way through. You was only focused on the donations and not everything else that makes y'all money. But anyway, that's all about it. It's been your boy T. If you liked the video, like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I hope you have a good day. Bye.